Hey guys, good morning. I look like a hot ass mess, so we are gonna go ahead and fix that. And I'm using my Laura Geller Spackle Primer, and this one is in the shade Champagne, and I'm just putting that all over my face. And then the next thing that we are going to do is I'm using my Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and this one is in the shade Warm Beige. I did put 2 pumps in the back of my hand, and I'm dotting that all over my face. And then I'm gonna go and blend that with my wet sponge, and this one is from ABH Cosmetics, and I'm just dabbing that in all the way to my neck. And then for my concealer, I am using my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea concealer, and this one is in the shade medium. So I'm applying this underneath my eyes, in the middle of my forehead, in the middle of my nose, in my cupid's bow, and in the middle of my chin, just to kind of give that nice brightness to my face and dimension as well. So I'm using my wet sponge to kind of dab that in together and mix it all in together. And to set my foundation, I'm using a pressed powder, and this is the Revlon Nearly Naked, and I am applying this with the Morphe 438 brush, and I'm putting this underneath my eyes and my T-zone where I would usually get oily. Alright, for my brows, I'm using the Colourpop brow pencil in Bang & Brunette, and as you guys can see, I really don't have a thick brow, so I have to outline it, and in doing so, I have to brush the hair down and just basically fill in whatever gap that I have with my eyebrows and make sure that it looks nice, seamless, and defined. And it's so easy to do it with this eyebrow pencil. I really do like it, especially that it is so cheap. It's only $5. And I really do appreciate the fact that this has a spoolie on the other end of it. So this is kind of like a two-in-one product. It makes life a little bit easier, you know? Now I need to set my brows, and in order for me to do so, I'm gonna need a setting gel, and I'm using the Essence Make Me Brow, and I'm just brushing this throughout my brows just to make sure that it stays looking the same the whole day. And I really do like this as well. It's only like $3 at Ulta. Alright, that coffee break, man. Alright, so for my eyes, I'm using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and I'm just putting that as a primer all over my lid, and I am using the Morphe 438 brush, and I'm just using the leftover powder that I've used earlier to kind of set that in to make sure that I have a clean canvas. Up next, for my eyeshadows, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I know it sounds weird when I say it, but I did use the Buon Fresco shade. It's so beautiful. Anyway, I'm using the Morphe 521 brush, and as you guys can see, I'm just putting this all over my lid, and just doing the windshield wiper motion technique. And then I am going in with burnt orange using the same Morphe brush, and I'm mostly putting this in my crease area just to build in that crease color. And then I'm going in with Cypress Umber using my Morphe E17 brush. So I'm basically putting this in the outer corners of my eyelid, and then just basically building that in and then mixing that with the other colors and then just blending that in. Alright, and then to clean everything up, I'm using the Morphe 433 brush, and I'm just brushing everything through and blending everything just to make sure that I don't have any harsh lines visible in there. This helps makes everything looks nice and seamless. And then I went in with the shade Primavera, and I've used the same that brush that came with the palette So I'm just going ahead and putting this in the inner corner of my eye up to the middle of my lid. So I'm just putting this and dabbing this in there, and then just mixing it all together as well and blending it in. For my lower lash line, I'm using the Cypress Umber shade. That's the darkest shade in this palette. And I'm using the shader brush that came with this palette as well. And I'm just kind of smoking that lower lash line, as you guys can see. And then I'm going in with the shade Primavera. This is the nice goldeny champagne color. And I'm putting this in my inner lid, inner corners of my eyes. Alright, now to highlight my eyebrow bone area, I am using the shade Tempera, and this is the lightest shade in this palette. And now I'm going in with a clean brush, and this is the Morphe 521 blending brush. So I'm just blending everything together to make sure that there is no harsh line visible in there. Alright, for my liquid liner, I'm using the Nano Liner from Absolute New York. I got this in my Ipsy Glam bag last month, and I'm absolutely blown away by how beautiful it applies, and I have great control over this because usually I don't do wing liners. But today we are going to be doing a baby wing liner. So one step at a time, people, one step at a time. So as you guys can see, I did put this in the middle of my upper lash line all the way through. And I'm just drawing in that baby wing tip. So there you are. And then for my waterline, I'm using the Colourpop gel liner, and this one is in the shade Swerve. So I'm just applying that all over my waterline, and then I'm also doing my tight lining. So a lot of people can't watch this, so I won't be offended if you look away. That's absolutely fine. Now for my cheeks, I'm going in with the Becca and Jaclyn Hill palette. So I'm using the shade Amaretto, and I'm just applying this all over my cheeks. And then I'm topping that off with the Rosé Spritz. This one is the shade that looks a lot like NARS Orgasm. It's absolutely beautiful. And then for my highlight, of course, I'm using the Champagne Pop color, and I'm using the Morphe 510, and I'm just putting that all over the top of my cheeks, in the middle of my nose, on the side of my forehead, and then just making sure that everything looks seamless. So I'm topping that with a wet sponge and just going over that with a wet sponge basically. Alright, for my lips, I'm using the Meet Matte Hues from The Balm, and this one is in the shade Sincere. I absolutely love this shade. It has a very lightweight formulation to it, and it has a little bit of a minty taste when you first apply it, but it doesn't linger through. Alright, for my setting spray, I'm using the Honest Beauty Elevated Hydration Mist. So I just spray that all over my face. And now you can see me using the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. So I'm just putting 2 coats of that. I'm not applying any fake lashes today because it's always a disaster whenever I do that. It takes me such a long time. Alright guys, here is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of these, please thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you again next time.